Okay, hey guys, welcome back to the Jaden and James Real Estate Podcast, where we talk about real estate and whatever else comes up. We got Jaden back in this hot seat here again, so welcome back, Jaden.
Good to be here.
Thank you. I realize that you have to wear pants 2 days in a
Say it's
row.
more of a cold seat in the basement in Minnesota.
Nah, nice dad joke there. So we just did our big meeting yesterday with our team. Today we did some other more. We're in meetings all the time, and now we're about to do a couple podcasts and then go have a cocktail. Right?
Friday happy hour.
Perfect time for happy hour. So today's pretty exciting. Today is something that I think you named it. I think I did it, but you named it.
Okay.
Is that fair, maybe to say? Because I was thinking outside the box. Basically, be a different kind of cash buyer. That's what he came up with. That's what we do. We have this program out there. We don't want to be like everybody else. And so we got a couple stories that we're going to tell of how we were different than everybody else and just throwing money at it versus, what we did for somebody. So that's why I say I think I initially did it, or we kind of talked about it, and then because I was initially, I keep saying that because was the salesperson when Jade and I were pretty much starting off, but you're the one that kind of came up with a name.
Yeah, I
for
think
it.
yeah. So when I got into this business originally, I thought real estate investing was buying houses. That's the way I treated it.
Okay.
Like go to the house, look at the house, come up with a price. Here's your price. Have a good day. Let me know if it works for you. And I think we realized, I don't know, after maybe the fifth property we went to, when you started helping me, that it was a lot more than that. That these people were usually going through problems or something was going on in their lives and they needed help with various things. And there was a lot more to the process than just giving them a number on their house.
Right.
And we learned that. I mean, we figured that out 7 years ago. But once we started hiring a team of people to help, having a team of salespeople helping us, I think some of that may have gotten lost a little bit along the way. Mm-hmm. And this last year, we really doubled down and went back to it and like formalized the process. So we come up with a process called Be a Different Kind of Cash Buyer. And we really encourage our team and give them the tools to help sellers with things besides just buying their house. So help them with moving or deposits on a new place to live or whatever else they might need help with, finding help with senior living places or things like that.
I think we talked about it on another podcast, but I'll just go a little bit on this one, and I'll pick another one that we've done this too. But it's the house in Florida where we went in. Actually, let's just even do the house in Minnesota. Scratch the house in Florida. Same concept. It was too hot. They needed to be cold. This gentleman that we bought this house, it's almost 8 years ago this happened. And we got the phone call. And he said he needed help. I arrive, the power is off. It's colder than cold in there. I mean, I'm like, so when we say be a different cash buyer, I think at that point in time, I wasn't even thinking that way. I was basically thinking this guy's a human. And he's down on his luck. He lost his wife to cancer. He lost his kid to suicide. Talk about being down on his luck. I think this was his high school sweetheart. Jaden, that was the first time that I experienced a grown man crying in front of me. That wasn't my father or somebody that I knew. Yep. And that's when I knew something was different, that this guy is human, and we need to treat him like a human. We need to get him back to being a man, and then he can continue to help him solve his problems. And that's exactly what we did. We were totally different. Guys, it's not always about the money. It's about delivering. Help me out here. I'm trying to.
It's about helping people delivering a value, but
that's what I was saying. It's a value.
Look at it like serving people is. I think the way we try to look at it is you're serving people, and buying the house could be part of the process of helping them. But if you have a chance to help somebody, whether you buy their house or not, like help them, and that's what we try to train our team on doing is. Mm-hmm. Find out what struggles they have in their lives, what they're trying to accomplish, and see if there's a way that we can help them with it. And the more we do that, the more we help people, the more business we'll get generally. So it's good for both things. It's good for helping people, and it's also good for the business.
Right. And I think part of it was, first of all, it's really hard to see a grown ass man cry, but I know when that happens, this guy has been down on his luck. So again, him coming and I think I gave him a hug and said, we're going to help you out, and everything is going to be okay.
Yeah, you got his power turned on like right that at that
Well, it was
time,
like
basically.
4 hours, I think.
Yeah, you called him right away.
The problem is we had to. I think we ended up buying him a hotel room too because the water heater ended up freezing. He wasn't able to even take a shower at the end. But that's just an example, guys, of being different at the end of the day. And there's a lot of younger people getting involved in this. If you go in there and just talk about dollars, you're not going to get it. You guys, we also have to remember they're going through, people who call us, people that we help, they're going through a death, a foreclosure, a divorce. They inherit the property because somebody died, and their great uncle that they love so much, now he's like, what the hell do I do with this house?
Or they're moving to assisted living, or there's lots of different things going on.
Help them solve. What's some other things that we've done, Jaden, up here in Minnesota to help?
Well, we've definitely, I think probably the number one thing we've done is give people money for deposits to move into an apartment or assisted living or whatever. They need to line up their next place to move to, and they don't have enough cash to do it. So that's a pretty common thing for us to do. You mentioned that one in Florida, which was like the reverse of the Minnesota one, where her AC was off, right? And in Florida, not having AC is like, you pretty much can't live that way.
It's like Minnesota, like not having
You can't live in your house. So you got her AC turned back on and helped her out. And she had a lot of stuff going on too, with somebody that was living in her house taking advantage of her. And these things are not uncommon. You've got,
You guys, I wanted to hold up on that one. That one is, you guys, I literally took this lady, told her she was being scammed by her roommate, brought her to a bank. Even the bank, like, what the hell are you doing here? I said, look, I'm helping her out, and here's what we need to do. I'm helping her out, but I'm going to step out when you give account information. If you give anything, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm just helping her move to the next level. This lady still calls me every 6 months. And here's the ironic part about it. She was originally from Minnesota. So, of course, a Minnesota guy shows up at her door, helps her out, gets her back on track. She's very, very thankful for it. But, have we ever heard any other stories of people going to a bank and literally helping them, like, get everything organized?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if other people do this kind of stuff. I honestly don't know.
I don't know. If you guys, I would love to hear everybody else's stories on something like this, of how you were different and how maybe you got a deal versus everybody else, like, hey, how did you get that deal? So
Yeah, and I wanted to add too, like, one thing we noticed this last year was it seemed like getting more competitive than it had been. Like every time we go into a house, there's 3 or 4 people writing offers, and they're just taking these different offers and just comparing the numbers. And like, if you're just throwing a number out there and that's all you're doing, you're just a commodity. And then they're just going to pick whoever the highest offer is, the lowest margin deal is going to win. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to run a business that way. So you have to find ways to add more value and differentiate yourself from somebody else that's just providing a cash offer on a house. That's really what we really leaned into that this year, and it made a huge difference.
Yeah, I think we've actually helped a couple people just recently, physically helping them move. Mm-hmm. We encourage our team to be that different kind of cash buyer. In fact, I challenge everybody to do that, but I mean, we literally have a KPI.
Yeah, how many people did you help this week besides buying their house?
Exactly.
What else did you do to help them? And just recently, we also set up in Minnesota. I found if you ask somebody, hey, would you like us to help you with moving? They'll usually say, no, I don't need help. But if you say something like, well, we've already budgeted a certain amount of money every month to help people with moving. We're going to help 3 people this month with moving. Would you like us to help you with moving? We've already got the budget for it, and it's not going to cost you anything. Oh, well, yeah, in that case, you could help me out. So it's about how you say it. So we just started. I talked to our VP of sales about a month ago, and I said, let's just budget for 3 moves a month, and just tell the team, like, the money's already there. We're paying for it. We're going to pick 3 people this month. Whoever are the first 3 people that accept it, get it. And we just started doing that. So we got 2 of them, I think, that just happened just recently. So these are ways, you have to push it a little bit harder, because Minnesota people are very passive. They don't, they frequently want to ask for help. But if you
Okay,
offer it
so
in a certain way, they'll take it.
I'm going to read this question here. I think this kind of falls into that. How do we decide on what type of help a seller needs? So, or we're just leaving it to the acquisitions,
Yeah, I
right?
don't think we decide. We over the years, I think we've found certain things that are recurring themes. I mean, they're moving. So like probably the most prominent thing that I think when we started the company out that we found was that people wanted to move and not take all their stuff with them.
Right.
They want to just leave stuff, like 30 years of stuff behind. So we started advertising like, just take what you want and leave everything behind and we'll recycle it or donate or whatever else we have to do with it. We'll handle it. So
Right.
that was a pretty obvious thing for us to start doing. But early on, we also found out people would need deposits for their next move, but they would need the money before we bought the house. So we'd have to give them money up front. Like, how do you give somebody money up front without actually getting the house? So we figured out ways to do that. Contract for deed usually, or sometimes we just go at risk and give them the money. If it's $1,000 or $2,000, we have it under contract to buy it, but we're still at risk because they could just not sell it to us.
Well, the nice thing about that is if it's in our metro area, I mean, we can pretty much get it within 24 hours, and we can see if there's any liens. But that's something, I
But we're
think our,
still we're still at risk if we have somebody $1,000 in the purchase contract. They could still just cancel the contract,
they
not
could.
ghost us, whatever. And this has happened to us where you are risking some money. I mean, when you do these things, you're risking money, and we've just taken the tact that we're okay risking some money if we can help some people, and there's going to be some percentage of cases where we help people and spend money and we don't end up buying the house, and it's just a cost of doing business. I look at it like a marketing cost.
It's a marketing cost because if we only want to spread good news, I mean, there's a reason why our Google reviews. I can't remember how many views are we up to, Brady. Do you know on Google?
150 plus, I think.
Yeah,
Over 150.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's what we're striving for.
Yeah.
Those reviews. Oops, I just lost it here. Why is offering options better than just offering like one price or one? Let me restate that because you guys, what we do is we just don't come in and do one cash deal, right? We give them option. We lay 2 or 3 different options in front of them, and we let them choose. And we've found that that is pretty awesome because it lets them feel like they're choosing their path.
Yeah. I think early on, what I liked about it when we first started doing this, really probably the first year we were doing business, was I never wanted someone to say, hey, you bought that house for too little money. You didn't pay somebody enough money for that house. And because sometimes these deals that we get, they look really like low prices. Well, at the end of the day, like if we give them 2 or 3 offers that are, here's the lowest price option that we're doing the most for you, like we're going to buy it cash, all the hassles off your hands, we're taking care of everything. That's going to be the lowest price because it's costing our business the most amount of money to do it. We're taking the risk, we're doing all the work. If you want more money, there's some other options we have where we do a little bit less work, there's a little bit more risk on you, and we can offer a higher price. So if you want a higher price, we're going to offer you that option. And that way, then if they choose the cash offer, which they frequently do, the lowest price option, we didn't choose that. We gave them higher price options to look at.
And this is the biggest thing I try to get out with other realtors because other realtors think we're stripping their equity.
Yeah, we're somehow forcing people to sell us their houses at discounts. Like, that's not what's happening.
Please understand, we never equity strip a property. We're always going by what the homeowner wants us to do. If a homeowner comes to us and says, you guys, this has happened before. I'm dying. I have 30 days to live. They just want they basically say, I'll give you 100,000, just take my house. Or not like they give we're going to give you 100,000. They just want the house because they want the money, because they want to take their last 30 days and go do whatever they want to do. Realtors, it's not always about putting money back into the house and putting 30,000 back in to get a top price. I like to think we listen to the seller.
And we do offer that. We say, hey, if you want the top price for our house, we can list it for you. We can list it as is at this price, or if you want to put a little bit more work in the house, which almost never is the case, we can get a higher price for you. But that's not what they want to do.
We can do that all the time. You guys, too many realtors go up to the house and they're like, all right, when you get done fixing it all up, I'll be over here. Just call me and I'll list it.
Yeah, like
what value is that?
Replace that window, paint that wall.
Yeah,
remodel the kitchen.
So I still struggle with that. That's one of the things. Again, they don't understand how we're being a different kind of cash buyer. We're going in and we're physically we're helping them out. We're not forcing them to do anything.
Right. We're giving them options. We're also almost in every case competing with other companies too. So, they're getting multiple options from us. They're getting options from couple other companies. They're usually talking to a couple realtors too. So, if they're selling their house to us, that's what they've chosen based on the options, and that's been put in front of them. So we just try to be, provide enough value to where that, they pick us as much as possible.
Right. Well, being a different kind of cash buyer, um, I don't know where I was going with that. Let's just stop that. Sorry, yeah, my brain is going about a mile a minute.
Well, is there anything else we're doing besides, so like the basics of like moving is obvious, the deposits is kind of an obvious, we've been doing for a long time.
Okay, one of the things that I know that we do a lot is like, hey, we'll close on a Thursday or Friday, and then we'll take possession on.
Let them stay in the house for a few days.
Yeah, because they want to. Everybody wants that extra time to load their truck up to do whatever they need to do. Now, the tip for people that are in the business that we do, always hold back money. And you guys, you have to hold back money because in escrow, it's and it has to be a certain percentage so they come back and get it. You guys, if you just hold $5,000 back, they'll still stay there.
They'll stay on the property for free.
Yeah, so you have to go even deeper, and you have to say it's $15,000-$20,000, and it's just a phone call, and then put a restriction behind it. After midnight, it's $250 a day.
Yeah. So there is, if you don't do it right like that, you're running a very high risk of things going sideways on you with that kind of a deal. So early on in the business, we were really cautious about offering that because we knew if people stayed past it, like they got closing, they got the money, and they stayed in the house for a couple of days, the risk of them not leaving was very high.
Yeah.
And once they do that, like, well, how do you get them out of there? Like, then you've got to go to eviction court and all this. It's not fun. So we've just learned, hold back 10% of the sale price or whatever, $20,000, so that 4 days later, they're going to want that $20,000.
It has to be a high amount, guys, because otherwise I'll just sit on it. And then put that restriction on after like 4 days. Put that restriction on, it's $250 a day because you got to have that.
Yeah, that's a good. What I was thinking about was, a lot of times we try to find ways to help people, but in some cases, they might want something different than what we've ever done before. So in one case, I was thinking of we had one of our acquisitions agents was working with a seller. They wanted a way to get a little bit higher price for their house, and they were willing to do the clean out and stuff, which is almost never the case. Usually people don't want to do that, but they said, I'll take care of the clean out of the house. I'll get it totally vacant and cleaned out for you if you can give me a couple $1,000s higher price.
And that actually came from one of our acquisitions guys. He thought outside the box. That's what we want.
I would have never thought of that.
For whatever reason, that was Brad.
Because almost everybody wants us to deal with that.
Right, and that's where Brad's like, I don't know if they realize it, but this is awesome. I'm gonna supply the dumpster, and you're gonna clean it out.
Would love to give you more money to do that for. That's a lot. It's very expensive for us to clean out houses.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, we've spent $20,000-$30,000 on some houses doing that. So.
How does this mindset apply beyond real estate? Do you believe?
I think any business. I think any business where you're doing sales calls or you're serving customers, which is most businesses, I think, if you can find, what's the deeper thing that your customers are dealing with on an individual basis, and if there's a way for you to at least empathize with them on that and understand it, listen to it, if you can't help them, but find ways to help people, even if it's completely outside of your business, nothing that your business even does. There's a book called Extreme Hospitality that talks about this.
Okay. Wait, this is the one that we told, Extreme Ownership.
Extreme Hospitality is what it's called.
Oh, I thought it was Extreme.
No, it's Extreme Ownership is one of our values. Extreme Hospitality is the book.
Oh, it's the book. Okay.
Yeah. So I think we all read the book, right?
Yep. No, I'll be honest with you, I didn't read it. I listened to it.
Yeah, you listened to it. That's fine. It's just the guy that wrote the book is a restaurant owner, and he was struggling to get into the top 10 list of worldwide best restaurants, and he was in New York City, and maybe it was top 100, I don't know. And the way he ended up finally cracking into it was he found out if he connected with the people that were dining at his restaurant and found out about what their day was like or their week or whatever was going on in their lives, and there's something they were trying to accomplish this week or today that had nothing to do with food necessarily. In a lot of cases, he could do things to help them, like give them advice on what museum to go to or help them line up some other event or whatever. Usually nothing to do with restaurants or dining at all.
Oh, this is the one you came up with a hot dog. Literally, they're
Yeah.
going to this
He
Michelin
found-
restaurant,
yeah.
and this guy's never had a Coney Island dog or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's the basic where he got the idea from. Is he's running a trying to get this 5-star Michelin restaurant. He's like just below the threshold of getting there, and running this really fine dining, very expensive place. And these people that come through there are like foodie type people that have a lot of money to spend on things like that. And this group was there visiting from Europe, I think, and he was the last restaurant that they were going to visit before they went back to Europe. And he was just asking how their trip had gone and stuff, and they said, well, it's really great and the food's amazing and everything, but we never got a chance to have a dirty water dog from a street vendor.
A dirty water dog.
And they're at this like fine dining establishment, and he's like his light bulb went off in his head, so he went and had one of his assistants run up to a street vendor and get some dirty water dogs and put them on a plate so it's all like really nicely presented, and gave everybody a dirty water dog, and that was like the best thing that he possibly could have done for that group of people was that, not like fancy food or anything like that.
Hey, Brady, let's make sure that we put that book in there in the bottom, and if anybody wants to read that, because we actually made our whole team when we
Pretty sure it's
implemented
Extreme
this.
Hospitality.
See, now you're looking.
Yeah, hold on. I'm pretty sure.
I have it in my.
Extreme ownership is also a book, and I think that's what you're thinking of, James.
Yeah, but that's the. Which one did we read?
Well, extreme ownership.
Unreasonable Hospitality.
Unreasonable.
Unreasonable Hospitality.
Yes, there we go.
Sorry. So let me update that. It's Unreasonable Hospitality. That's the book. But it's just going completely above and beyond doing something that people wouldn't expect your business to do, and like surprising people with it. That's the point of it.
So, lesson for other investors: want to get ahead? I mean,
I think the number one lesson is that real estate investing is not about real estate investing.
it's not always about the
It has
money.
nothing to do about real estate investing.
Yeah.
It's about helping people and serving people, I think. It's how you have to look at it. And the real estate investing, buying houses part is really a secondary
I think that
thing.
we love helping people.
I think you have to be in this business.
I watched CBS, that guy that goes around in different stories this morning, and it talked about this guy who he takes half his paycheck and he just pays for stuff for people. And for whatever reason, that just made me feel good this morning. I'm over here. This guy is going to Walmart. He's going to Target. He's going paying for people at a gas station. And for the very first time, he said he was going through Burger King, and he said, "Hey, pay for the lady behind me." This lady followed him, tracked him down. He's a city worker, and basically said, "Thank you so much. You don't understand what you did to me. You literally, my husband just died of 40 years, and I was feeling down." And so you never know what people are going through.
Yeah.
And so this morning, I'm over here. I love stories like that. I'm just like tearing up. It's like somebody's doing good. We need more stories like that. We need people to do good things. You guys, all we have to do is turn the TV on, and it's just bad stuff. And so when we all do that, and we're better people for doing that, it makes the world better.
Yeah, and I think another factor in this running this business is that you've got a team of staff that work for you, right? And people want to work at a company that's making the world a better place. They don't want to work at a company just for the money.
And that stuff spreads too. So back to this lady and this gentleman, she made sure, went to the city and said, "Look, you don't understand what this person has done. This helped me out." You know what that lady does now? They started an organization. She's now running around giving back to people.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
It's just, when you do good things, you do kind things, it just continues to spread.
grows, yeah.
And we're definitely in a business where people are down on their luck, and whatever else you can do, whatever else you can give them, they'll take it. They
Yeah.
really will.
Yeah.
So, Jaden, I think that was a really good podcast with being a different kind of cash buyer. You got anything else you want to maybe say to maybe our listeners out there?
Yeah, I just think the last thing I would say is I think one of our missions in this business has been to kind of be a light in the industry and show people a better way to run these companies. because I think the industry has a bad rap, and maybe well deserved in a lot of cases. So you can run these companies in a good way that serves people and is doing the right things. And that's what we've tried to do that from the beginning is show other people how to do this properly.
From day one, that is what our 100% our goal was, because I don't know, it feels good.
Yeah.
It always feels good when you can give a smile to somebody, that you solve their problem at the end of the day. When you can do it with integrity, you can do it with empathy,
Yeah.
and being a different kind of cash buyer.
Yeah.
So, hey, thanks guys for listening again. Thanks for joining us. Remember to like wherever that button it happens to be on this display somewhere. So, hey guys, remember we made all the mistakes.
So you don't have to.
Have a good night.